We're live.
Hooray.
Hooray.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Hoorah.
Hey,
Hi.
John, welcome back.
Thank you. I'm leaving again.
I understand. Yeah.
I'm back for about a week and a half, and then I'm out again for American Thanksgiving. I'm basically going to visit my in-laws for a week.
As the usual, right?
Yep. I think last year was the only year we've skipped, really, in the past couple years.
Cool. Well, how was your state's trip for the last 2 weeks?
It was all right. It was a lot of recording. So we recorded a lot more than we usually do, it felt like, anyways. But we got to do a couple cool things. Got to check out some game shops in Atlanta. Got to hang out at an arcade, hang out with some friends. We did a Make-A-Wish thing as well, which was also really interesting.
Oh, nice.
I don't know what
So-
things you're allowed to talk about or you're not allowed to, but feel free to get into detail on what you're allowed to talk about.
The Runaway Guys was a Make-A-Wish request. So we actually met up with a Make-A-Wish kid named Andrew.
Oh,
And-
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So he wanted to play Mario Party DS with us. So we kind of hung out together and played some games. We played that. They Make-A-Wish bought us dinner. They got us they rented us one of those like video game trucks or video game trailers that you can just kind of like get in the back of and have a bunch of consoles hooked up there.
Yeah.
Like a Pimp My Ride kind of thing?
I mean, well, if you're pimping your ride, it's just a trailer, yeah.
I'm thinking of like a pickup truck with an Xbox and a couch in the back. That's what I'm used to when I watch Pimp My Ride.
Not quite.
A little bigger than that. Like, yeah,
Okay.
we have those here in Calgary too. I wonder how good that business is. Weird.
Do you just like rent them for like your kid's birthday or something? Like,
Yeah, that's exactly what to do. The dude told us like, hey, I can't stay extra long because I have another thing I have to go to right after. So I guess business must be at least all right if he had multiple bookings in the same day.
I suppose. Yeah.
I want to break down what does the inside of this trailer look like? How many people can you fit in it?
Comfortably, because there was seating, like a giant benches for seating. 15, 20 kids will probably be more since they're usually smaller. Like I'm thinking
20 seats in it.
Well, it's like a giant bench, so like you could get comfortably sit together. Like it had like 5 widescreen TVs, I think, hooked up with like
This is way bigger than
Switches,
I expected.
Xbox Ones,
Okay.
PS4. Yo, if you want to see footage of it, I actually did tweet out a bit of it.
Okay, I'll have to look that up later. Do you know like the company or anything?
I will once I actually go and see
Game Truck.
Game Truck. It might actually be something like
GameTruck.org.
Is that actually the name? Because it wouldn't shock
No,
me.
that would mean it's a Game Truck.
Oh no, it actually is called Game Truck.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's GameTruck.com.
yeah. Okay.
Nice.
So you weren't that far off with your joke. So all right, there I threw a link to footage of it there if you want to look at it later.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's like a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, like I said, it's like a trailer.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I was thinking more of like I don't know why, like a camper trailer.
Or like an RV type thing. No.
Yeah, and for some reason it has beds in it. And I assume they would have just like hollowed stuff out, but this makes more sense.
Yeah, decent amount of seating, a bunch of consoles and TVs. So.
And you did this with the Make-A-Wish kid? Is that right? Or this was separate?
This was the Make-A-Wish kid, yeah.
Okay, cool. So he had access to 5 flat screen TVs and he wanted to play Mario Party DS?
Yes.
Huh, okay, well.
It was his favorite game, so it made sense.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm not going to tell him what game to play. What game
we did play a little bit of Luigi's Mansion 3 on there as well. So
okay, there you go. Cool. Anything else you can mention, or is it all secret?
Usual can't mention the recordings we did. We did do a stream, which was actually really fun because the stream had us playing a custom Mario Party board that some of my mods made. So it was like the board itself was themed around us. It was a TRG based board. It was actually really fun.
Is this a certain version of Mario Party or just on the PC?
Mario Party 3.
Okay.
I ran it on an actual N64 on an EverDrive. So
what is an EverDrive?
An EverDrive is basically a physical cartridge you can put ROMs on, so you can play ROMs on your actual system.
Okay. Why 3? I thought everyone liked 2.
I said the same thing, and basically the guy who was making it, Juker, he said 3 has the best options for building the board, like all the different events that can happen by landing on spaces and stuff like that, compared to 2.
Okay.
So that was why 3 got picked.
See, I remember 2 being the one everyone liked because I grew up with 3, and everyone would always be like, "Yeah, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 2," and I'd be like, "Well, Mario Party 3 is fine."
Yeah,
on,
I'm
guys.
also team Mario Party 2. So
Oh, I'm not team Mario Party in general, so
I know you're not. You know you're not.
Sorry if I gave you that impression. I didn't
Oh
mean to
yes,
do that.
you've always given me that impression.
Yeah,
I know how
yeah.
much you love Mario Party.
What was the best thing you ate?
Steak.
Nice.
Had some real good steak.
All right. All right. How do you order your steak?
Medium.
Okay. That's about what I do when I ask for medium. Paul?
I found most places used to do, I'd say medium well, and they would give me medium. So I was just like, yeah, let's just stick with medium. Because some people I like undercook it or overcook it, trying to find that nice line.
Yeah. I like medium rare. More rare than medium, but medium's fine.
I grew up disliking steak because my mom was always like super critical about like pink meat.
Oh, so that she overcooked?
Well, she just did it well done at all times.
Oh,
and I didn't really
know
any different. And so, because of that, I also kind of grew up being like, ew, pink, this is bad. And like being worried about it, because my mom,
yeah,
kind of got me to believe like that.
Reese had the same thing happen. She was like, I don't like steak because of how my mom used to prep it. And then she came up here and had steak. And she's like, okay, never mind. It's good.
Right, yeah, because when you have like well done steak, it's just rubbery and hard to chew, and it's like my jaw's tired. This sucks. I just hate eating this. But then started having some like actual properly cooked steak, and it's like this is delicious. You can chew it like a normal piece of food, not like a pencil eraser. So that's cool. Well, Paul, what have you been up to in the last week?
I guess the big thing for me, have you checked out Disney Plus yet? Because that's out.
Yeah.
And I watched The Mandalorian and loved it. So
let's talk about some Mandalorian. I also watched The Mandalorian. I mean, who's getting Disney Plus on like week 1 and not watching The Mandalorian? It's like the big
people
thing.
that hate
why
Star
not?
Wars,
like,
I'm sure, that like Marvel.
I guess I feel like those people aren't picking up Disney Plus day 1 because there's nothing like brand new on it, just Marvel yet.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I don't know. I heard some good things, so I was pretty stoked to check it out. And then, yeah, it's exactly what I want from Star Wars.
Did you just use like the trial, or did you subscribe?
I'm on the trial right now, and then the subscription kicks in like 4 days or something, 5 days.
Is the trials a week? Is it?
It's a week, yeah.
Okay. I got one of those bulk memberships for buying like 3 years of it.
I remember, yeah.
which discounts it to like less than $5 a month, and it seemed like this seems pretty good for $5. Let's do this. So I have that. I'm in for the long haul, I guess.
There's a lot of stuff on there already, so good Lord.
Well, before moving on, let's talk about some Mandalorian. So you seem to love it.
I really like it. Yeah, it's exactly what I want from Star Wars. It has that old like shitty sci-fi fantasy feel, and like it doesn't take itself too seriously. And yeah, no, it's basically one of the best Star Wars thing I've seen in years for me.
I liked that robot. He was pretty cool.
IG-11 is really good. Yeah, he's really good.
The Mandalorian seems cool.
Yeah, he seems fine.
Yep.
He tries to ride a mythosaur for like 10 minutes, and that's great. Like, what a weird thing. That part is
definitely weird. That's
what I like about it, is that it's just dumb, weird sci-fi fantasy.
Yeah, it definitely has like a different flavor from the movies, because the movies are like, this is the end of the entire universe as we know it.
Very like they're quite dour in comparison for sure. This is more like I could have seen this being made in the 80s, but like obviously it looks better because it's made now. But like it has that old feel to it, and I really like. There's a lot of like callbacks to the original series as well, down to like some of the like weird radial wipe transitions, and like it just feels very much like an old thing.
The current movies, they still do like the old weird transitions as well, because they always like stick out to me as like look at that, wow, who does that anymore? But yeah, no, there's definitely tons of callbacks for sure. New episodes tomorrow, I believe. Fridays.
It is. Yep.
How do you think about the once a week versus the drop it all at once Netflix style?
I don't remember the last show I had that was a once a week thing. It's been a while, so it's kind of fun, like a thing to look forward to every week, for sure.
I don't know which one I prefer. It is nice being caught up really easily as opposed to everyone being ahead of me. I have definitely been watching some once a week show because that's how HBO does it. So like anytime I watch Westworld or I'm watching Watchmen right now, that's once a week.
Right.
So I haven't been totally divorced from it.
Right.
But it definitely, I do like the fact that I'm up to date with everyone as we go, for sure.
Yeah. And it gives like that weird water cooler talk sort of thing, like once a week, like on Twitter or whatever, you'll be able to chat with your buddies, Discord or whatever, about the new episode. Yeah, I've been watching The Simpsons on it just as background noise. So it's been good revisiting The Simpsons, I guess. I just skipped right to season 3 where it started getting good past all the garbage early episodes, and yeah, it's been fun.
Monorail episode,
where actual morals and shit.
Yeah, where they actually tried to have a message. Imagine having a message in a cartoon. Also just bad writing for a while before they found their footing. No, not the monorail episode yet. I think the last one I watched was...
That's like season 5, isn't it?
Probably, yeah. It's a little bit later.
Season an individual Simpsons episode is in. I also haven't watched The Simpsons in... Oh my, it's got to be getting close to a decade.
Wow.
Yeah. 4th season. Oh, okay.
I've been watching some Pixar stuff because there's some new Pixar short on there.
So
Forky asks a question. So that has like one episode out, and there's a bunch of Pixar shorts.
Yep, I thought that was cool. That they've
been slowly going through those.
Yep,
there's cool. a cat one called like Kit Dog or something like that. It's something like Cat Dog, but it's not exactly what that is. It is heartbreaking, man. Holy smokes!
No, I'm not watching that then. Fuck that. I'm not gonna watch something called Cat Dog and it has
a happy ending. It has a happy ending. No, no one dies. The cat does not die. The dog does not die. But there's a gut punch in the middle of that.
Yeah,
that I was not ready for.
And also it's brought up in the chat here. The reason why I got excited actually is because since they own Fox, all the cartoons I grew up with loving for the weekend are all on there. So you got X-Men, basically all the Spider-Man cartoons that I care about.
Spider-Mans.
I'm pretty sure Spider-Woman is on there as well.
I didn't care about Spider-Woman, but yeah, Spider-Woman is on there. Doug is on there. Recess is on there. Like all these shows.
Doug is on there?
Yeah,
Doug is on there.
Disney,
yeah. So Gargoyles, like DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, actually both versions of DuckTales. The old one I grew up with and the newer one that came out a few years ago.
Boy Meets World is on there.
Boy Meets World is on there. Everything I grew up loving. It's basically just like, hey, were you born between the years of like 1980 and 1990 whatever? Then this is probably going to hit.
I mean, it's probably even further back than that. You just have no like attachment to the old stuff because they got some old stuff on there.
Do they? What's the oldest? What are some of the older stuff they have on there? I haven't dug that deep.
Like some of their like super old movies.
Yeah. Some of their super old movies
sure.
I don't have like a super attachment to, but I just am like, I guess that came out in the 60s. Okay, boomer. Got topical.
God damn it.
Got him. Got him.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I'm Gravity Falls. They got that on there right now.
I'm excited as it being the second monitor thing where I can like watch some old shows while doing stuff. That's basically what I'm stoked about. Also, like the Sandlot being on there got me excited. Like I like all these older like just movies I grew up with that are on there.
That was
too.
Disney?
I guess.
You know, one day everything's gonna be Disney.
I know.
It already kind of is.
So
it's gonna be Disney and Google fighting for supremacy
for not too much longer. You're gonna be Disney. I'm gonna be Disney.
Yeah, Very true.
Watch, Disney's going to buy this podcast.
Yeah.
Oof. That makes me sick for some reason.
You gonna be all right?
Okay, before we go into the show, I want to give a quick shout out to a movie I watched last weekend called Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
All right, I heard about this. This movie sounded interesting.
I really enjoyed it. It's by Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok, Hunt for the Wilder People, What We Do in the Shadows. He's extremely funny. He plays Hitler in this. So it's it's a comedic, satirical take on like the Nazis during the war, and it follows this kid who lives in Germany. As he's kind of like dealing with everything, and he talks to an imaginary friend who just happens to be Hitler, played by
Waititi. Hitler Youth or something.
If you like Wes Anderson movies, you'll really like this because it's got some like it's kind of got some shots like that. It's got some gags like that. I thought it's real funny. It has an appropriate amount of gut punches in there because it should, based on the subject matter.
Sure.
Just overall, like really enjoyable film. So I definitely recommend that. But I'm basically at the point where anything what TT does, I'm gonna watch because I have just absolutely loved like everything he's doing. So
sure, cool.
Shout out to Jojo Rabbit. But let's do the podcast proper. This is gonna be a long one, I'm sure. This is, in case you were confused, the Top 10 Perspective for November 14th, and I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
I'm John Wheeler.
John, you've been gone for weeks. What you played?
Not all that much. I'm mainly playing some mobile games as usual. But while I was there, I got to play some Killer Queen Black.
Nice.
Oh yeah,
and that is sure is Killer Queen.
That's in a good way though, right?
Yeah, but man, getting a local game set up is kind of a headache.
Oh, weird.
Ooh, I wouldn't know. I didn't do anything local besides like bring a second player with me into an online game.
So we had 4 people, but we only had 3 Pro controllers. So we had 3 Pro controllers and 2 Joy-Cons set up as a single setup, which is not allowed locally. The game thinks you have too many controllers set up as a result, and will not let you into the make a local multiplayer game mode. Also, the local multiplayer mode is local wireless mode, so you can't even just play it on your own system. You technically have to have a wireless game set up. Also, you can only have 4 players on your system, so to play an 8-player game, you need 2 copies of the game and 2 systems.
Right, I remember that one. They were pretty upfront about that. All the information I was getting was
they were upfront about that, but it's still just like repeating for those who don't realize this.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, but like the real thing that was the headache was the fact that 2 Joy-Cons set up as 1 controller still counted as 2 Joy-Cons.
That is weird. So just to go back a quick sec. So if you're offline, like camping or something, you can't play a game of this?
You can. You set up local wireless mode. Like you don't have to play on a network connection, as far as I'm aware, but you just send out a wireless signal.
Okay, so there is offline play at least.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I thought you were saying there isn't any way to do that.
No, there is. It's a bit convoluted.
Okay.
You can thankfully fill up the rest of the slots with bots, so you don't have to just have like weirdly weighed matches. It plays good. It's a little chunkier than I remember Killer Queen being. Like the flapping seems to go lower than I remember it being, but that might just be tweaks they made to this one.
Okay, I'm wondering because like I played Killer Queen maybe a couple months ago at an arcade. It didn't seem any that different to me.
I think it also might be the feeling of like an actual arcade button versus just the buttons on a Switch controller.
Yeah, or maybe like when was the last time you played Killer Queen like proper?
1.5, 2 years ago.
Yeah, maybe they like updated it recently, and that's why I didn't feel something different. Like maybe the arcade version got closer to the Switch one or something. I don't know.
It has been a while, so. But yeah, no. At least it is crossplay, which is the good thing. So you can play with people who have the PC version or the I guess the other versions, which aren't. Are the Xbox ones out yet?
No.
Yeah,
that is a Game Pass one, so I would have definitely had that already.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, still good. We tried going online to play a game with 4 players, could not find anyone.
That's weird. I was getting into games immediately.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I had a full party, and which meant they had to pair me up with another full party, or what, but we couldn't get any games going, which was a bummer.
Yeah, that might be the case because I only ever went online solo or with one other person. Yeah, that is weird. How did it run for you though? I had no problems. It was totally fine online.
No, online when I played it online was fine.
Okay.
Locally, you can't pause.
Okay.
So yeah, so you can't pause. Well, like the menu will come up, but the game will still be running behind it.
Sure.
And if you press the home button, it disconnects you. So your entire room shuts down and you have to restart. Even if you're all just on the one system, which is insane.
That is pretty weird.
So those would be my gripes about it, but otherwise, like, it plays all right. We did have some lag when playing by ourselves on the one system, which was really odd. Like, there was just random like skips, as if the game wasn't sure what was going on when like 2 of us killed 2 different players at the same time. Like, we kind of teleported, and then the AI, obviously, which didn't have that issue, killed us.
Weird, man.
But it only happened like once, maybe twice. It was otherwise smooth. So I'm just gonna chalk it up as like a weird hiccup.
Was it? Were you playing handheld at any point, or is this all docked?
All docked.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird.
Yeah. Otherwise, still a good game. Recommend it. Maybe on PC.
That music's real good.
Music is good. I just wish there was music during the matches, because the only song that plays is when like one team's about to win.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
No, the only music that plays is when someone is about to win. It starts doing like a drum roll, and it plays little guitar riffs when someone dies. That's all the music is in matches.
That at all.
To be fair, the arcade game also didn't have music, so I figured that was just them being authentic.
See, I was thinking maybe the arcade game did have music, and I just can never hear it because arcades are loud and everyone's screaming like snail right in your ear. But yeah, that's weird. I could have sworn there was music. Anyway.
Other than that, what else did I write down here? Oh yeah, that Lion King and Aladdin Disney collection came out, so I brought that along with me, and my friends were like, "Hey, I want to try out the Lion King," because I had streamed my SNES copy the other day and went through it. They're like, "All right, have fun," and they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. It ends up that game is still as hard as most people thought it was back in the day.
Is it the stage where you're jumping around? The Hakuna Matata stage with the
yeah, no, it's the Just Can't Wait to Be King stage.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's the one that they kept getting people, like walled on. And then, well, Emil made it to stage 3, the Elephant Graveyard, and then ran out of continues there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they added the Game Boy versions are in there as well, on top of the Super Nintendo and Genesis versions of Lion King. And Aladdin has only the Genesis one, but they added Game Boy is in there as well. They have a fixed version of the game where they fixed some of the issues that were left in the game upon release. Like, I think there was some little like code bugs and like weird hitboxes they fixed. And there's also a super early like public demo of the game they gave out. They had in an expo hall that was like super early development, and it's like it's really rough around the edges and really difficult. But it's actually really cool that they added it there. They also have a bunch of like making of games videos for both of them. They made their own for Aladdin, and then Lion King had one that got produced back in the 90s.
Dude, that stuff's
and they have like a bunch of
for like a
yeah,
game
no, it was really cool. They had like
thing.
dev interviews and everything.
Yeah, that's real cool. I like that. I wish more stuff did that.
Yeah, it was some neat stuff to check if you're into that kind of stuff, like historian stuff or like retro stuff.
For sure.
But otherwise, it is essentially those 16-bit games. So honestly, I think you can get those games cheaper than the actual release.
Probably. I mean, I own them, so probably, yeah.
Yeah. So
by release, you mean the collection?
Yeah.
Okay, but then you're missing out on like all the different versions.
You are missing out on all like the extra versions and stuff. Yeah, but like if you just wanted just those games, you could either just throw them in an emulator or just buy the original games for cheap enough that you would still save some money.
Yeah.
But
I
what
like
if you
it.
wanted like to play them on like a modern something? Like, are they on Steam?
I think that collection is on Steam, actually.
I'll check.
Because that might be the best thing, is maybe it's more expensive, but it's also just easier to get.
Oh, it's definitely going to be easier to get. There's no question.
Like, who has like a Genesis sitting around? I mean, some people do, obviously, but not everyone.
Yeah, Disney Classics, Aladdin, Disney Classic Games, Aladdin and the Lion King is on Steam for $34 Canadian.
Yeah. Was either of these on the Genesis Classic?
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think any licensed games really were.
Yeah, that probably makes sense, actually. I bet that licensing is a nightmare.
Aladdin would have been the most likely one since that version was pretty famous, but no, probably also because this collection was in development.
That's yeah,
true.
Yep. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for me. Just been playing small things. Yeah, that's really about it. I'm gonna go pick up Sword and Shield after the podcast because they're doing a 10 p.m. launch.
Nice.
So that just makes sense. Like
it does.
It goes live at 10 for you guys. So why not?
Exactly.
Yeah, I have that, I guess, already downloaded. I just need to unlock at 9.
Which version are you playing?
I'm playing Sword because I want that big boy Farfetch'd thing. Surfetch. With that long sword. You know the one I'm talking about.
I do.
Yep.
What about you, John?
So I'm grabbing that 2-pack, the one that has sword and shield in it. Reese wants shield because it has the pony tie in it. And so I'll be playing sword.
Right.
Nice.
Okay. For whatever reason, Amazon started selling that thing, the double pack, for 100 today, which is $20 off. I was like,
weird.
Wow, way to go. That's a deal right there, but I am not that person.
Yeah.
But anyways, John, we'll have to Pokemon battle. We'll have to trade. Although you're not gonna. What starter are you gonna get? Maybe you can give me a sweet egg.
Probably doing Score Bunny.
Perfect. I'm not doing Score Bunny. I am tired of fighting fire Pokemon as my starters.
That's fair.
Also, I think Score Bunny's evolution just seems boring.
I haven't looked at the evolutions, nor do I care to before I get in the game.
See, I looked because I'm like, I only play with one Pokemon. I play with just the starter, and it becomes a weird tank that I go through the whole game with. So I'm going to be looking at this thing a lot, and I want it to be like cool looking in some way. Anyway, I'm going Sobble.
Nice.
So you got to hook me up with an egg, man, and I'll give you an egg, and we'll make this work. We'll make deals.
I'll see what I can. Well, it depends on how much of this I end up playing, but yeah, we'll see.
Well, just play enough to get me an egg, or just give me your starter if you're not going to play it anymore. I'll treat him right. I'll treat that Score Bunny right.
Wow.
By putting it in the bank, never to see the light of day again.
Exactly. I just need that
put him in the computer,
man. Paul, do you want to talk about what you've been playing?
I guess so. I finished the Outer Worlds. I'm completely done with that game. So
are you going to do a second playthrough?
Nope. I'm happy. I saw 2 endings, so I'm happy with that.
I hear the playing through as an idiot is a very good playthrough.
I mean, I got that flaw by getting hit in the head too many times, and since I was playing on normal, I was like, well, I got to make this somewhat harder for myself, so any flaw I get, I automatically have to take.
Oh, I'm not taking them because they're like, you'll get a perk point, and I'm like, all these perks are dumb. No,
the perks are bad. They're pretty bad. Especially because the downside for the flaws are fucking ridiculous. They really gimp you. But the dumb option is so good. Just being
so you started as like a normal, competent, probably speech-focused person because you play Fallout games, and then you just like,
and then
I'm gonna hit my head a whole bunch, and
then I was playing I was playing like Destiny for too long, so I broke my legs too many times and got a fluff to my dexterity. Then I took too much corrosive damage at some point, so I took a hit to resistances, and then I got hit in the head too many times. Wow, this does not
sound fun.
I mean, you don't have to take the flaws.
Very not fun.
It was fine. It's cute. I kind of like the whole, like, depending what happened to you in the game can like dictate how the game plays for you if you wanted to, or you can just be like, nah, I don't want that fluff, fuck you off, and I want to play normally. So playing as a person who got hit in the head too many times opens up a bunch of dialogue and sometimes options that you can just do. Like there's a part at some point where you're like in a lab. I'm not going to do any spoiler talk. You're in a lab, there's a thing there, and it's just like, well, like, I could hack this, or the dumb option is push the big button or whatever. It's like, well, I'm going to fucking push the button. And it's like, oh, you fucked up. Okay, like, let's move on.
No, I do hear that playthrough is very good.
It's good, yeah. And it has a quote-unquote secret ending where you're basically just like, computers, no, fuck that, I got this shit, let's go. And then it's like dead.
Okay, no, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And then I went back after getting that and laughing and just being like, okay, let's actually like see what the ending looks like. And there was like another hour and a half worth of story.
That's very funny.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole thing, but I just kind of saw that it exists. There's a speed run of that game that's like 13 minutes long.
It's for that dumb ending. You just make your character dumb, go to the end, and then do the thing to get credits.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
So you're missing out on everything if you're speedrunning it, like the whole reason to play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. I was a little annoyed because I did a thing that the game lets you do, and then a bunch of people hated me, which is fine. That's fine. But one of those people was a quest giver I was on, and then they just wouldn't talk to me anymore without fighting me. So I was like, all right, and they just blew their fucking head off and took their shit and walked away. It's like, okay, I guess that quest is gimped now because these other people in this area hate me, so this person automatically does too. Because
so did you actually get like in the quest log whatever the thing at the bottom is?
Yeah, I can't remember what's called, botched or something.
Botched, that's what it was. I kept thinking borked in my head, and I'm like, there's no way this game says borked.
Yeah, so
no,
that
I
was
can see that game saying borked.
So that was the only one that I specifically botched. I had 2 in there, and then the other one was under botched, but I didn't botch it. What I did was it was to give a dude a thing, and instead of giving that dude the thing, I sold it on the black market for money because I'm a freelancer. But it still counted as botched.
I, at the moment, have no botched ones, which I'm pretty proud of. It seems kind of hard to botch a mission. Unless, I guess, you kill someone. Then that would be pretty easy.
For sure. That game's really good.
Yep,
I really like that game.
Still slowly continue to play it. But games keep coming out, man.
Yep.
Such as.
So, Hearthstone Battlegrounds came out, which is their auto chess thing. And that thing is unreasonably fun and addictive. I played a whole lot of it.
What's different about it?
In what sense? From an auto chess or from Hearthstone?
From auto chess, because it's not like Hearthstone, right? It's like auto chess.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so what makes it unreasonably fun that an auto chess does not?
It's so the big problem people have talked about, and I can see it, but I don't really care because I was expecting it, is that there's an element of randomness to it. And my reaction to that was, wait, there's randomness in Hearthstone? You don't say. So how it goes is that you have your play mat or whatever, like your play area. I guess the big difference is you can only have 7 units at a time on the board, because it's like in Hearthstone, you can only have 7 cards on the play field on your side at a time. There's like a limit. Okay. And the way it works is that every round, it follows standard things. Like if you have a taunt enemy, the opponent's stuff will have to kill that first before getting to other stuff. And it goes like from a left to right, where left to right, the minions will attack a character or a thing on the other side in kind of like standard fashion, but like there's a little bit of randomness to it, so you can get fucked in your draw sometimes, and I could see that being annoying for some people, but for me it's just kind of expected it, so I wasn't too mad about that. The games are shorter, and there isn't a whole lot of cards and deck like archetypes that you can really build, so what it ends up being is a bunch of giant creatures with like a stupid amount of health or a stupid amount of like stuff that could happen, like buffs that make it so that when a creature dies, it spawns more things and whatnot. So instead of this, you building up like an auto chest thing, a bunch of characters, and then they just fight each other. This has the card interactions of, well, when this character dies, it explodes this character, which in turn makes 3 more versions of this, which all get buffed by this. So it has this weird like synergy thing going if you have like your cards right, that I don't think the other ones do, and I think that's the gratifying part for me. Also, you have your heroes, which they all have hero powers that you can play each turn if you want to, for like a cost. And those are usually pretty good. Like Nefarian has one that it deals, you can play it for 1 mana or 1 coin. I can't remember what their currency is. I think I'm just going to say mana for ease. You can play for 1 mana, and that'll just be at the start of like the next turn, just do 1 damage to everything, which is good for like if you're facing up against somebody who went heavily into having shields. You just like pop all those shields right away and take out their shitty little units. They have passive characters with passive buffs where it's just like they're able to like get stuff for cheaper or like level up characters easier or quicker or whatever, or get like better tiers of stuff. It's very, very cool. And I think the thing I like about it too is that I've been playing with a buddy who isn't into Hearthstone at all, and this is just a free thing that they were able to download and play with me, and that's been fun as well. You can
Is this just on PC?
I don't know. I've been playing it on PC.
It's on phones.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but it's very, very good.
I'm sure it's coming to phones if it's not.
For sure, yeah, for sure. It's still in beta. Also the big problem, I guess the only big problem I have right now is I don't know how to get emotes unlocked to taunt my enemies, and that's all I want. But yeah, I've taken some pretty brutal losses in it, for sure.
It does not look like it's on iOS at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, Hearthstone Battlegrounds, that's out, so people should check that out. And the big one that happened, so I've been playing this, but I went really hard in it because Star Wars comes out in an hour and 45 minutes, and I'm not going to go back to this game until that's done, probably. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair. Been working on that game, and I'm at the point where I'm at the Impossible Lair. I'm missing 16 tonics in that game, which are kind of like...
How impossible is it?
It's very fucking hard. It's very difficult.
It is annoying. It's annoying.
It's difficult. Yep.
But I can guarantee with certainty the speed run of that game is literally just going to be doing that layer right away.
Yep. Yeah. So I guess like John had already talked about this game, but I'll give a quick recap for anybody who doesn't know. It's a side-scrolling Donkey Kong Country-esque type game. The general conceit of it is that I can't remember his name now because I don't really care. The big baddie in the game is taking over the this like giant beehive city essentially, and at the very beginning you fight him and you go through the impossible lair that he set up to kill you basically, and you can beat that lair at any point during the game, including the very first time you go in it if you're good enough. But the idea is that it's made very difficult, so the game expects you to go throughout the overworld to collect bees for this battalion buff that are basically just anytime you get hit by something in the lair, a bee dies that it swarms around you instead of you taking damage, because you can only take damage twice in the game generally. Once after taking 1 bit of damage, Laylee flies away or tries to fly away, and then if you take it again, Yooka dies. So the bees are basically just an overshield, and you can get up to 48 of them in the game. And the idea is that you get this overshield so that it makes the lair easier. But even with it, this lair is a fucking bitch. You're generally probably not going to get through it, even with the full bee thing, without the big thing is knowing what's coming up and like what you're in store for, because there's kind of a lot of cheap things that get in your way to kill you. And I think that's the most annoying thing about it. Also, the fact that every time you die in the lair, you have to start all over again, and the lair's like a half an hour long thing, basically, to go through.
Yeah,
is kind of
they
annoying.
basically wanted to make it so that you couldn't one-shot it.
Yeah, for sure. That being said, people that have played that game a lot and are good at it can one-shot it, but I'm not going to get to that point. Fuck that shit. There are runs of that with 0 Bs. Oh, I'm sure it's
really
probably
already?
I'm sure it's probably like 15 minutes or something.
I'm looking it up right now. Fastest time. Oh wow, really? No, fastest time right now was 1 hour and 9 minutes. No, 1 hour 8 minutes. Sorry. Yeah. So no, I don't think anyone's cracked the.
Wow.
Oh wait, hang on. Nope, I'm full of shit.
Okay.
I was in the 24Bs category. Any percent, which I assume that'd be the one.
Yeah.
19 minutes 48 seconds.
See, that's just annoying to hear.
That's still really long for just only doing the one stage.
That is, yeah, that's literally just the lair length.
And the best part is there's literally a category marker where it says time without loads and time with loads. So that 1948 is actually 21 minutes even.
God damn it. That's crazy. For comparison, I am about 16 or 17 hours in after getting all of the Bs for the battalion. Most of the tonics, I'm missing 16 tonics still, and I kind of just gave up on it because you can't bring the tonics in with you anyway, so I kind of don't care. Like, I'm done with the overworld stuff. Like, there's no reason to go back in those levels unless it's to grind out quills for stuff I can't use in the end anyway. So it feels kind of like well, I could do this for completionist's sake and like sink another hour into this, but nah, fuck that. Let's just finish the game. And then I thought finish the game was like, okay, this is going to be very hard. It might take me an hour. I've been working on that thing for about 4. It's been about 4 hours of working on that thing. So I'm almost done it though. I've gotten to the end sequence, which is like a escape, the exploding place sequence, twice, and I've like died on that. So that's fucking irritating to die at the end every time, but whatever. We'll crack that egg. That game's very good. I will say, at first, it didn't feel very good because comparing it to Donkey Kong feels tighter than this game.
Yeah.
The rolling in this game is fucking weird to get used to at first. It's a little, like, floaty. And then you realize when you get decent with it, they meant it to be floaty so you can do weird tricks like rolling off of a platform for, like, a good, like, yard or something and then jumping. Like, there's a reason why it feels floaty, but at the beginning it just feels like it was coded wrong or something until you get used to it. I hate that when you get hit, Laylee fucks off and it gimps you. That's what I don't like. That you can't ground pound anymore without Laylee, and you can't spin in the air.
So here's the thing, that they took that out of Donkey Kong Country Returns because the same thing happens if you don't have Diddy or your partner.
Yeah,
so that's why that mechanic's in there.
Yeah, I don't like that mechanic at all. Specifically the ground pound thing. I can get my head around not having the better air control without her, but there's parts where it's just like, oh, I just have to take a death now because I need to get this coin that's down here, and I just can't without her. So let's go back to the checkpoint. Coin collecting in this game feels like a lot of trial and error for a lot of parts because they're kind of off screen and it's like, well, is this a thing I can do? Let's jump into the fucking thing I can't see. And then sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. For the most part, you can usually get through them pretty okay, but it's a little tiresome at some points just being like, okay, well, let's die here and see if you... Oh, yeah, there you can get through. Okay. These are honestly just small gripes, though, because I really like the game, and I wish it just felt a little bit better. Also, the first stage in the game had some music I hated, and I was just like, oh no, did they fuck up on the music too? They didn't. The music is fucking amazing in that game, and it gets better as you go along. It's almost like they put like the worst music up front and then put like the better stuff later.
Just getting this out of the way.
I think it's Grant Kirkhope, isn't it? I think he was there on the first Yooka-Laylee.
I think it's Grant and David, I believe.
Yeah.
But I know David did at least one track in the game. But I think the idea was that it was mostly Grant. But Grant also didn't do the Donkey Kong Country music in the first place. Like he was Banjo-Kazooie onwards, so.
Right. Yeah. Also, the conceits for like how you get into the alternate versions of worlds and is fucking inspired. That's inspired game design right there. Except for like one where it was just like, oh, it's the same, only the conveyors are going the different way. Like that one is just like, really, guys? Like you couldn't think of something better than that? Every other one has been dope. Like ones where just like you play through a level and then the other version of it, you flipped it so that like the whole level is now flipped, and that game is fucking cool with how they design those levels. It's real cool.
That stage where you basically run in and destroy a factory and then the security system chases you back out is super frustrating, but also super fun.
There's 2 chase levels, and frustrating but fun is definitely how I describe them. Frustrating because I just hate instant death in games, dude. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, let me take a bunch of damage or something, sure, but I just hate when there's something where it touched you and I'm dead. And this game has a lot of that because difficulty, I guess. Also, there is a lot, I'm sure you noticed this, John, there is a lot of Kaizo DNA in how that game is structured.
Oh.
There is a lot of Kaizo DNA in that.
There's so many jumps where they're specifically there because they know you're going to take a hit.
Yeah.
That's almost why, like, almost every time they do that, there's like a bell right after or a checkpoint right after.
Yep. There's so much of that. The Impossible Lair is basically a fucking ROM hack, like a Mario ROM hack in how it controls. It's weird, honestly, to see that much difficulty in a game that I was just like, oh, this will be cute. This will be a cute little video game that for kids that I'll get to play. Holy shit. It has fucked me so hard in that Impossible Lair. But yeah, I don't know. I hate this game and I love it. It's like that feeling you get of doing something very difficult, that like elation, but to get to that point, it's just like the shit you have to go through and like learn about it. It's very cool. I really am enjoying this more than I thought I would. Also, I'm pretty sure that Sekiro is going to be easy now in comparison to this. So we'll see, I suppose. Yeah, Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, people need to check that game out. If you're a Donkey Kong fan, especially growing up, Donkey Kong Country, you definitely owe it to yourself to check that game out. That's all I've been playing.
So most of this week has been playing our Patreon game.
Sure.
Because that is a game that you have to play kind of all at once, otherwise you're not going to do very well.
That's why I have to replay it so we can talk about it.
So I haven't played a ton of other stuff. I'll talk about Death Stranding a little bit because that's like the new hot release since we last talked. Again, I'm like an hour into Death Stranding, so I feel like anything I say doesn't matter because that game is such a big thing.
Sure.
What I can say though is like that it looks so nice. That game is gorgeous. That's about it though. Like I enjoyed the hour I played. What does that mean for a 60-hour Kojima game? Like nothing. So wait to hear next week.
No, I do have one question for you. Did you actually play that hour or did you watch it?
I played that hour.
Okay, cool. Okay.
There were definitely cutscenes, but I want to say about 2/3 of it was me playing and 1/3 was a weird cutscene.
That's doable. Yeah.
Which
okay.
I'm fine with. I'm of the ilk that enjoys the silly anime cutscenes from Kojima and how long they are. Like I like that stuff.
I think you have to, because Kojima definitely wants to make those cutscenes more than he wants to make the game.
Right? So. Yeah. If you're coming to a Kojima game being like, oh, I don't like story, I don't like watching cutscenes. It's like, well, play a different game. There's too many, and I know, person, you have a backlog, so go play something else. I will talk more about Death Stranding. In the future for sure.
Okay.
Luigi's Mansion 3. I just wanted to say that
sewer
the
level.
basement 2, the sewer level, is terrible.
I saw
it's
your
so
tweets
bad
about this.
and they send you back there. I could not believe that. It is pretty rare that you have to go back to a stage. And anyway, it's always just like go to the next stage, go to the next stage. There's maybe like once or twice where it's like, oh, you got to go back and do something else on this one. And this is one of those times, and it just happens to be the worst stage. Wow. Anyway, I'm getting close to the end, but with Pokemon coming out, I'm probably not going to finish it for a little bit.
Sure.
And then I also did want to say Tangle Tower. I was pretty high on it last week. I am less high on it this week to the point I am not going to be finishing that game. I had the brief complaints that sometimes you have to do some pixel hunting.
Yeah.
And I got to the point in the game where I had unlocked what I'm assuming is like the final like hidden room that would reveal to me who the murderer was, and I would finally figure out the answer to the mystery that I've been playing this whole time. And then your main character goes, hang on, before I go in there, I want to make sure I look over and find every clue first. And I was like, no, I am not going to pixel hunt for the last 3 clues that I don't even know if I actually do need. Let me in this door that I just puzzled open. What are you doing? And with the nature of how like it's not linear how you can go through the game, I can't even really look up a guide, like a video guide, to like find those unless I want to scrub through hours of footage to find where the one item was. So I was like, it's just not happening. I'm just going to uninstall this game and I'm going to watch the ending on YouTube. And that was a bummer. That was a big bummer.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was just one really annoying design flaw that totally throws you for a loop in a game that I was enjoying immensely, but stuff like that happens. All right, let's move on to some news.
Okay.
We got a bunch. This week started out with like no news, and then like up until a day ago, a bunch of news hit. Going in somewhat chronological order, we finally have a release date for Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, as well as everything else Shovel Knight, because there's a million Shovel Knight things about to drop. December 10th. On December 10th, you're going to get King of Cards Showdown, the Treasure Trove's physical edition, the amiibos, as well as the Shovel Knight Gold amiibo, whatever that is. So I think the most important part here, though, is King of Cards. It's finally coming out on the 10th. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you have the I guess if you have the Treasure Trove, that gets you the King of Cards, which is something I bought like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's a part of, so that's great. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, something to do in December, I guess. Not a lot of gaming, so.
Good. Yeah, and I got it on Switch, so it'll be good when I'm on the plane for holidays.
Nice.
All right, the big news is EXO 19 happened today. Did either of you watch this press conference?
Nope.
I watched some of it.
Because in my opinion, this was as exciting as an E3 press conference with the stuff they showed and announced. I'm just going to open up this Twitter thread because they kind of go through it chronologically. Started off with a new IP from Rare called Everwild. No idea really what the gameplay of it is, but visually it kind of reminded me of like a polygonal Ori and the Blind Forest. That's less shiny because that game is just like super shiny.
I could see that. Yeah, I'm just looking up the video right now. Okay.
Followed by Obsidian's new IP called Grounded, a survival game where you are building forts and you're smaller than an insect and you have to battle insects attacking you and whatnot.
Okay.
Which that's definitely seems very weird. But you know, Obsidian just knocked it out of the park with Outer Worlds, so I'm excited. Next was a game called West of Dead by Raw Fury that visually it reminded me of Creature in the Well. But this is like it looks like a dual stick shooter, and the main character is voiced by Ron Perlman, which was pretty interesting.
It definitely has a Mike Mignola Hellboy-ish like art style to it for sure. So I could see that. Interesting.
After this, I'm going to get more kind of choosy with what I'm highlighting, but they showed off Kart Rider Drift, which I guess is a PC thing coming to Xbox next year.
Okay.
They showed some more Bleeding Edge, which looks cool, coming March 24th. Planet Coaster. This next one I was pretty excited about. Tell Me Why is the next game by the Life is Strange team inside of Don't Nod.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like two people that have some kind of supernatural power dealing with weird shit in the forest. And I was like, sign me up. Are you kidding me? I am ready for this. It definitely looks like if you're a Life is Strange fan, take a look at this. They also said, and I don't understand what the wording means, but when they said all chapters coming September 2020.
Huh.
Which makes me think it's
another episodic
in some way, but they're all coming at once. So maybe they're like Netflix style, dropping all the episodes at once and you just go through as you please. But then why do them as episodes? Maybe it's just like they like that formula. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as a Life is Strange fan, I'm very excited. That's Tell Me Why. This next game also looked very cool. Right? It made me think of like a Double Fine game. This was called The Artful Escape. It's being published by Annapurna Interactive, which they're getting to the point of like Devolver Digital status of like, if they're publishing it, it's probably worth checking out, at least for me. They do some very cool stuff. This is some kind of weird side-scrolling like guitar. You have a guitar game. I don't even know what the gameplay is, but it looked super psychedelic. Weird creatures. Definitely check out the trailer. This thing looks cool. This is The Artful Escape again.
Okay.
They talked about Project xCloud for a while. Some of the highlights are, so there is a beta version of it, a preview version of it right now. If you're in the UK, the US, and I don't remember what the third country is. It's not Canada. You can use Project xCloud now if you want. Again, you need an Android device. It's not on iOS. Otherwise, I would have been jumping on this. They have 50 games in it already, which is very cool. They announced that Project xCloud is going to be coming to Windows next year, which is exciting. They also announced it's going to have Bluetooth support. And they even called out it'll work with a DualShock 4.
Okay, cool.
So that's cool. Why not? And then they said that Game Pass will be getting xCloud. So I guess if you have Game Pass, you're going to get access to their streaming service.
Nice.
Which sounds awesome. Holy smokes. What a bump.
Yeah, for sure.
Continuing on, they announced Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2 is coming to Game Pass.
Oh, nice.
And Xbox in general, yeah.
And obviously Xbox in general. But that's huge, right?
Yeah, because that's never really, that was traditionally just on PlayStation. Then when it came out to Steam last year, so that was also a big surprise, and now it's coming to Xbox.
And then with Game Pass as well, that's exciting for me. Like, holy smokes, that's a big get.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'll love those. The Yakuza games are great.
Right. I've been like this close to just getting them on PlayStation. I think I even have them through like PS Plus.
At least Yakuza 0, I think it's been on PS Plus.
Yeah. Drake Hollow, I actually stepped away, so I didn't see much of whatever this game was.
Okay.
They announced Halo Reach is coming to the Master Chief Collection on December 3rd. They then showed off the first
when the PC one's coming out.
I think it's both December 3rd. They showed the first gameplay trailer for Age of Empires 4.
Okay, nice.
They then announced that Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition is out now, and that is on Game Pass. I'm assuming just a PC Game Pass, but you can play that right now. They then showed the next game from the Virginia devs, which got me excited, and they described it as Twin Peaks-esque, and this is called Last Stop, and it's some weird detective game in London. I'm excited. Again, published by Annapurna Interactive. They showed Minecraft Dungeons, which comes in next year, April 2020. They then announced that 10 Final Fantasy titles are coming to Game Pass. which is another big deal in my opinion.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
That's a huge get. Like, wow.
Yeah.
There's like an image out there. It's like most of the ones you'd expect, like Final Fantasy 10's on there, 10-2, 7, 8, just a whole whack of them. So that is pretty cool. That'll be coming next year as well. They then also announced that Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 is coming to Game Pass, which will be the first time I think those are also on Xbox.
If I remember correctly. Kingdom Hearts, yeah, the only Kingdom Hearts game on Xbox right now is 3.
So 1 and 2 are coming to Xbox, and they're coming to Game Pass.
Yeah,
which I think is another huge
and all that mess. So like literally every Kingdom Hearts game is coming there basically.
Yeah, no, like I haven't said enough good things about Game Pass, but they just keep like hammering home with some of these games. Holy smokes. They then announced some new stuff that's on its way to Game Pass, things that are announced right now, which I'm pretty excited about. Rage 2, Remnant from the Ashes, The Talos Principle, Planetfall, and then, like I said, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. Those are already available. Coming this holiday. This first one was actually leaked this morning, but The Witcher 3 is getting added. Darksiders 3, Halo Reach, which you mentioned was December 3rd, My Friend Pedro, and Life is Strange 2. And then next year, they just kind of reiterated that it's the Yakuza games, those first 3, the Final Fantasy collection, and then they mentioned Ori and the Will of the Wisps. They did a big montage for ID at Xbox games. Bunch of stuff in there. I think they're all coming to Game Pass. Think some of the big ones was like Streets of Rage 4. There was this game on there called Skatebird, which was these little birds on skateboards that looked hilarious. That's coming to Game Pass. I don't know what that is. One thing that I know I and Paul would get excited about is Chris Tales, that game we got really excited about back at E3. I guess that's coming to Game Pass, which is awesome. I'm glad to see that game still exists in some capacity. And those were the big announcements from this event. I thought these were some crazy, exciting stuff.
Yeah, there was definitely some super cool stuff there.
Yeah, that was like an E3 level of announcements, in my opinion. There's a lot on that I just got like super excited as a Game Pass person, knowing I'm getting access to so much stuff. That's very cool. Couple other bit of news is from the XO19 were like trickling out. One of which, actually they mentioned this during the press conference. Now that I think about it, is that Discord Nitro subscribers are going to get 3 months of Game Pass for PC for free. Cool. And if you're a Game Pass Ultimate member, you get a month of EA Access for free. You get 3 months of Discord Nitro, and you get 6 months of Spotify Premium.
That's such a crazy cool deal,
right?
Yeah.
Paul, you had just stepped away. You definitely didn't hear this. There was a montage during this stream for a bunch of ID at Xbox games that are all coming to Game Pass. One of which was Chris Tales.
Oh, I'm stoked. I mean, either way, I'm probably gonna buy it because I want to support that game. That game is so cool looking.
I was just happy that it still exists because I have not heard from that game in a while.
Sure, yeah.
But yes, that was XO19. That was great. Moving on. The Game Awards are on the horizon.
Yeah.
And it was announced today that they're going to be live streamed across 53 theaters in the US. And then it's going to be followed by a screening of Jumanji.
That's so funny to me.
So like I was planning to just watch this at the computer, obviously. But like if I could get just like basically a free ticket to Jumanji, maybe I should just go do this to say I watched this and then Jumanji.
No kidding.
Like, how weird is that?
Super weird.
Definitely weird. All right, a couple Stadia things happened. I'm going to go to the second one first. We got the launch lineup, and it's depressing.
Oh, okay.
It is Stadia after all. Okay. So coming November 19th, these are the games that you will get. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Destiny 2 The Collection, Guilt, spelled with a Y, which is the only exclusive. So that'll be a brand new game.
Yep.
Just Dance 2020, which I'm curious how it's going to track you.
Okay.
Kine, Mortal Kombat 11, Red Dead Redemption 2, Samurai Showdown, Thumper, and then all 3 of the recent Tomb Raider games.
I mean, this is good if you haven't played like most of these. So, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of lackluster.
Yeah. I guess keep in mind, I guess the big score would have been that this would have been coming out the day Doom was coming out, right?
Yeah.
And then that got pushed, so they lost that because that was being shown as well on Stadia.
Yeah.
Thumper on here, that's a weird choice.
It is. Yeah.
I like Thumper, but I just like I didn't think like the general public was a big fan of Thumper. That's a weird thing for someone to just like, oh, I'm gonna try this little music game. Cool. Yeah. What is this? Anyway. Yeah. My Stadia shows up next week. I don't know why I'm pre-ordering this dumb thing.
I'm excited to hear about it, honestly.
Yeah, that I just need to know from like a game observer perspective. I guess I don't know if I get access to these. I have this since I'm getting it. I get like their 3-month of their subscription, so I'm assuming I get access to everything. I don't know. If I do, I guess I'll play Guilt because it's new.
Yeah. You have to try Thumper to see if that negative latency is a thing, because that seems like one where you would definitely feel latency issues.
Yeah. I mean, because every single else on here that I'm interested in, I own already.
Yeah.
And I've played through.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that strong of a lineup in general.
No, it's not. Yeah. Well, we'll see next week. I'll talk about it next week on the show. I get it. Yeah, I guess I'll be able to talk about it next week on the show. Speaking of disappointing Stadia stuff, they did an AMA this week.
Okay.
I'm just going to read you the headline of the article I'm pulling a lot of this info from on Kotaku.
Yeah.
Google confirms all the stuff Stadia won't have at launch.
Yeah, I just read that. Oh, no.
Seems like a good idea.
Okay.
So I'll go through these highlights.
Mm-hmm.
Stream Connect, State Share, and Crowd Play, the main features that allow players to join in one another's games and make Stadia more than just glorified remote play. That is coming next year.
Oh, okay.
The achievement system will be coming shortly after launch, so you won't actually get notifications for them.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it'll still record when you hit the milestones, but you won't be able to see them displayed anywhere. Even though there's an app, I downloaded the Stadia app. I can't do anything with it.
Okay.
Here's a weird one. So you need if you're connecting to Stadia on your TV, you need a Chromecast, or specifically a Chromecast Ultra.
Oh,
if you're not buying Stadia and you have a Chromecast Ultra, that Chromecast Ultra won't work with Stadia at launch.
Wait.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
What?
So my Chromecast Ultra will work. I'm getting one with Stadia. That one will work for Stadia on my TV. Right. Let's say you have a Chromecast Ultra, so you didn't buy like the Founders Pack that came with one. You were just going to use your Chromecast Ultra. And because you don't need two, your Chromecast Ultra will not work at launch. There will be an update later on.
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
Yep. Family sharing. Well, parents will be able to control what their kids can access on their accounts. Multiple people in the same house won't be able to share games on the service until later on.
That doesn't seem like a huge deal to me as a launch thing.
The buddy passes. Founder editions of Stadia are supposed to come with buddy passes so that people can give a friend a 3-month Stadia subscription to play games with them. But those passes won't actually be sent out until weeks after launch. So
okay. That makes sense to me. I'm okay with that one. Because they need to get like server stuff worked out. I understand that one a little bit, but that sucks still.
And then this last one on here is them talking about how things are getting staggered shipping, which we knew about.
Yeah.
This seems insane. I also saw another one and it's not set up here, but I understand because I was just seeing like some highlights on Twitter. You will need your phone at all times to start a Stadia game, even if you're not playing on the phone.
Oh, that's probably how Just Dance reads you also then. I
Holding
bet,
your
like,
phone?
yeah, or in your
I
pocket or
guess,
something.
maybe.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
Yep, that does.
That's a weird thing.
Yep.
The number of things that are not at launch, this Buddy Pass one is pretty crazy because, like, you would think at launch, this is when you want people championing your weird new product that you are trying to, like, convert people onto. And now everyone's going to be like, no, it's still not good. We got to wait.
How long do you think until everybody forgets that Stadia even is a thing? A few months?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't like. I'm curious if this thing can get turned around. And it's crazy because, like, at the same time, Microsoft keeps making Project xCloud better and better sounding.
Mm-hmm. No good, man. No good.
Definitely no good. Okay, let's talk about the Sonic trailer.
Okay.
What
did they do to my son? What did they do to my beautiful human hedgehog hybrid?
I'm sorry, they've made it palpable now.
What did they do to my monster?
Did you see the post that Yuji Naka was like, "Can you put the old Sonic on the Blu-ray release?"
That's hilarious.
That would be hilarious. That would be.
I hope they do that as like a bonus feature or something. That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah.
They probably won't.
I don't think they will. I'd assume that would take a lot of, like, additional animation and, like, time and effort to line things up.
Theoretically, they had it almost all done, right? Theoretically.
I wouldn't say that, because a lot of the times when the trailers are made from just the shots they've, like, got the furthest along. So there could have been quite a bit more.
How far before the release was that trailer? That came out in, like, what, March?
Yeah, it would have come out March. That original movie was supposed to come out last week. I was seeing a bunch of people being like,
it was supposed to be on my birthday. So.
Yeah, this was the day we were supposed to get Sonic. But they individually pulled out every one of his human teeth. I don't know about you guys. It looks better. This Sonic looks better.
I think it looks so much better.
I mean, it just looks like Sonic
even
now.
The trailer that cut looked better. So
instead of a train wreck.
The second trailer makes it seem a lot more like, oh, this is for kids. This is a kids movie.
Sure.
Okay,
it makes it seem a lot more fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's Valentine's Day, right? That's when it comes out.
Except now they're using Blitzkrieg Bop instead of Gangsta's Paradise, which I can't get behind at all.
Well, I mean, it's a second trailer. How often do they use the exact same song?
I honestly, I was hoping for the literal same trailer with a different model in it.
With a different model.
God.
Yeah. That would have been interesting for sure.
Yeah.
And no less than 1,000 websites would have cut here are the two trailers side by side as a video feature. Guaranteed, if that was the case.
Yeah.
Anyway, he looks like Sonic now. I think he looks more like kind of old round Sonic, like the original kind of Sonic, or when they try to draw original Sonic, he's like shorter and fatter.
He looks more marketable.
The artist that did all the work for, like, Sonic Mania's animated cartoons and, like, a bunch of the current comic book runs, he's one that called in to actually redesign them. So
what you're saying is he's saved Sonic twice now.
Basically.
Yep.
Tyson Heese, I think. This might be going back a bit. Do you remember, like, a really old Sonic parody comic about, like, Nipples the Enchilada and a bunch of other weird Sonic tropes? Probably not. Yeah, based on the face I'm getting, I'm assuming not. But yeah, no, that was a very popular. Yeah, no, Nipples the Enchilada was correct. It was like a really weirdly popular, like, fan comic. He made that, and then he went on to do all this, which is what's amazing about it.
Nice
for him, man.
Yeah.
Nipples was just a stepping stone to stardom.
Exactly.
That's the American dream.
Anyway, we're all gonna see this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. You signed the blood oath.
Yeah.
The Sonic blood oath.
Yep.
Yeah, but the Sonic Blood Oath we signed to play every Sonic game that comes out. You guys have been keeping up with it, right? Not just me.
Honestly, I have been playing most of the Sonic games. Yeah, I still have a soft spot in my heart for Sonic, even though they've let me down so many times. Yes, this is a dream come true. Exactly.
All right, last bit of news is Humble Choice was announced.
Yeah.
I guess this was announced a little while ago, but they detailed it recently.
Yeah.
They're basically changing their Humble monthly subscription program to be called Humble Choice. You can get grandfathered in to a version of Humble Choice if you get Humble monthly. But they'll do is instead of like having like a mystery game each month and whatnot, is there'll be a selection of games and you just choose which ones you want as part of your subscription.
Right. Yep. I'm excited for this. It's a good way to do this.
Trying to see what the different tiers are. And this thing doesn't have a chart. But anyway, if you're a Humble monthly subscriber, maybe look into this to see what tier interests you, or if you're good with the grandfathered version. The price stays the same, $12 a month.
Yeah.
And you can get a bit of a discount if you buy them in bulk.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. That does it for news. Let's do some questions. If you want to send in questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And I will read this first one from Yogurt Sapien. The past few weeks, I've been in a really bad slog, and as a result, I haven't really been wanting to do things I enjoy, like video games. When you get in situations like that, how do you usually get out of it, or do you just ride it out?
I mean, you just ride it out, unfortunately. I guess you fill that time with other stuff you would be okay with doing. Usually if I don't want to play games, I'm like watching a movie or like a series on TV or something. That's usually like my thing that I like fill with video game time just to get away from it.
Yeah, pretty much the same. Just find something else to give yourself a break in a way.
Yep.
You just gotta nut up and shut up. Play more games because games is life.
Games is
just
life.
Double down. Play 2 games at once.
There is like, if you know of a game that you can just play, sometimes you can kind of get yourself out of the slump by just playing something that like kind of almost like a
comfort food game.
Like a comfort food game. Yeah, exactly. Just to
sure. You can kind of turn your mind off.
Yep.
Do you have some examples of that? Maybe like a raid in a game.
Like a raid in a game. I mean, yeah, like MMOs are great for that actually. Just shutting your mind off and doing some monotonous task or whatever. Basically doesn't feel like a game anymore. It feels like just something you're working towards.
Overwatch. It was just an easy, like, I'm just going to jump in and just play some quick play. And I know I'm going to have a good time.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, I know I definitely agree with the first sentiment is like, you don't have to keep playing games. Like, just do other stuff, mix it up. Or maybe it is like play a new game. Maybe you're just bored of whatever game you have or games around. And maybe you're like, I just need to buy a new game that's different and try something else out.
Yep. And also maybe this is like a weird thing to suggest, but like go outside and like hang out with friends, go to the bar, like enjoy other nature. Stuff. Just like, yeah, don't like just sit at home and like
jump in a pile of leaves, smell a flower, get your knees scraped, get some grass stains on your pants.
Yes, exactly. Sarcasm writes and says, Paul, what are your thoughts on Diablo 4 being always online without a traditional single player mode? It is the first gripe of many that that are sure to come with this game. So probably expected at this point, because most things just seem to have always online somehow baked in, but I fucking hate that shit. I hate it so much. I like doing single player stuff in Diablo. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
All right. Rastman writes in and says, if you could have anyone narrate a whole day of your life, who would you choose and what would you do on that particular occasion?
Danny
I feel like
DeVito.
you can't say. I was about to say you cannot say Danny DeVito or Morgan Freeman. Those are just too.
I already
obvious.
said it.
Why Danny DeVito?
Because
Why
I like
not Danny
Matilda.
DeVito?
And he narrates a bunch of Matilda.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
No other reason, honestly. Okay, narrate
Christopher
a whole
Walken.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. And what would you do? Because you'd probably want to do something a little special so that he's narrating like a special event.
Like go on like a road trip or something like that.
Yeah, that could be pretty good. James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones is a good one. Yeah, I feel like that's similar to like the Morgan Freeman side of it.
Yeah, a little more ominous though, a little less like good guy ish.
I'm gonna want Nicolas Cage doing the full cage.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good.
Full cage.
Yeah, I want the full cage, as he puts it. And I think I would just like go skydiving or something crazy.
Yeah, I mean his narration would just be like ah or something. It would be pretty good.
Yep. Dead in Sky. You can get any video game for free. However, once you start playing a game, you can no longer play any game released beforehand. For example, when Animal Crossing and Doom release on the same day next year, you could go back and forth between them. But once you start playing one of them, you couldn't play Tangled Towers anymore. Do you take the deal?
No.
No.
And feel free to sweeten the pot until you take the deal.
No.
Yeah, no. Why would I do that?
This is a shitty deal.
Well, the deal is you get the games for free.
Okay, $60 doesn't seem worth losing access to literally my entire back room.
Yeah, I wouldn't take the deal, even though I don't really go back much.
This is a really shitty deal.
Yeah, this is a bad deal for sure.
Like how could you sweeten this to a point where it would actually be worth taking? Like that's what I don't get.
Well, I mean, I guess like for me, it could be something like I can play any previous games I want 10 times a year, because it's like I don't go back that much. Maybe 10 would be enough for like when I have a Rock Band party once a year, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I don't know. I go back to old stuff too often, so I can never take that deal.
It would literally like
pass.
ruin your job, your career.
Yeah.
That would literally
that
kill
aside.
you.
Like
Yeah.
even if we were like, yeah, okay, the job is like excluded.
Right.
No, it would still suck.
But I mean, the nice thing is you would get like every new game for free. So I guess you could make a lot of like topical content. You know what I mean?
I guess you would save money in the long run, I guess.
Yeah.
But you just wouldn't be able to play like on your free time. It's just like,
You could also be real strategic about it and just like start at the first game and just work through every game. Try and get as many of them as you can.
As a collector, you cheat and be like, all right, I want like I want stadium events.
Yeah.
Give me this $10,000 video game.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't know how you sweeten this, honestly. Yeah, no, I don't take that deal.
The game is free and here's $1 million.
Well, yeah, that honestly per game.
Jesus.
Honestly,
I'm just saying, there's a way you could sweeten it. Like, I don't know what.
If it's like plus $1 million, now you might have my attention, because I could do a lot of like normal living things with $1 million.
To be fair.
Yeah, that's too much sweet, for sure.
That's like dumping an entire like container
And
of
the
sugar in there.
and what's interesting is he puts like some examples of ways to sweeten it. So he has by including ports, DLC as a separate release. So now for my Rock Band example, I can go back to Rock Band every week because there's new songs every week.
Oh, like even so to even consider it, I would definitely need. I'm going to take this a little more seriously. To even consider this, I would definitely need at least the ability where if there was since I PC game mostly, if there's an update or a patch that counts, like that I can go back to it, because that's when I generally go back to games anyway, is when there's an update of some sort.
I feel like that now allows you to play every game, because what game does not receive a patch?
Very few. Very, very few, for sure.
Like, I would love to know if there has been, what was the last game that came out and never received a patch? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
what would that even be at this point?
Probably some dead indie thing.
I was gonna say maybe just like a Wii title. Maybe it's like the most recent Just Dance or something. I don't know.
It's probably a console thing, right? Because those are notoriously harder to get like patches through, like an older console.
Yeah, like a GameCube game maybe, because like the Wii even had easy access to the internet.
That's an interesting question. So if you take that into account, you're starting to have my interest. Also, every console counts differently. So like my one game on PC doesn't count for my one game on Switch, since they're so vastly different and they don't usually match up in the games I play. You start to have my attention at that point. If you want to throw in $1 million, that might sweeten the deal even more, but per game, of course. VGC Kenny says, 2 questions. 1, what real person would you put into Smash?
Again, I'm saying you can't pick Danny DeVito.
Damn it.
Walken. Sticking with it.
Active answer.
Real person. Okay. I'm guessing they have to be alive. Like, what if you just put like Abraham Lincoln in or something?
No, I'd say like let's just have anyone in there.
I think
it's like a time warp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like Smash Bros. Is.
Right. Yeah. I would put Tupac Shakur in.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Mainly because his stage like, music would be dope.
Fight, and then I was thinking like The Rock.
The Rock would be pretty good.
Or Terry Crews might be pretty fun.
Yo, yeah, that'd be fun.
This is basically a name your favorite wrestler like question. You could put them in probably.
Macho Man Randy Savage, done. There we go.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Part 2, or the second question he has, what mythical figure would you put into Smash?
Centaur.
Yeah, I was thinking like a chimera or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean just like a random ass centaur. I can't think of any famous centaurs off the top of my head.
That's a good point. I'm trying. Like, yeah, all I'm thinking is like, yeah. Now I'm thinking like Thor.
Yeah, and I'm thinking gods as well, like Zeus or something. Like,
there's probably like a really cool one that I came across in Hades, but I haven't played that game in a while. You know, like Ares with his like super fast movement. That might be kind of cool.
Thor would actually be kind of cool. Honestly.
Yeah. Even like the Marvel Thor.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Next question from Boko. You can remove one of these movies from the timeline. The Emoji Movie, Pixels, or Angry Birds the movie. Which do you remove and why?
Pixels, 100%. It's the one I've seen out of those.
Why are we removing these 3?
Well, we're only removing one, but also because they're bad?
I don't know. 'Cause I thought Angry Birds the movie was apparently good. Like it set records.
That's a different thing. That doesn't necessarily mean it's good.
I guess, but it got a sequel, so at least it was considered okay by some. See, the problem is I actually haven't seen any of these.
Yeah, I haven't seen either. Ugh. I was gonna go Pixels simply because I think even if you removed the other 2, they're part of like Angry Birds as a franchise, and the Emoji Movie I mean, emojis aren't going anywhere either. They're based on something. So I feel like they're inevitable. They would come back.
See, from what I understand, isn't the Emoji Movie kind of like they know they were making a stupid movie about emojis? There's like some quality in there.
I don't know.
Angry Birds is obviously a kids movie. Pixels is a cynical garbage. No, Pixels is garbage. That's a cynical like, hey, video games, right, guys? Like, movie. Fuck that movie. Fuck Adam Sandler. Fuck. Oh my god, I'm so mad. I saw that thing.
I was gonna say the rage is just coming out now.
Fuck that movie. I'll erase myself from the timeline with it if I need to. I'll just hold on to it and we're done. Sacrifice? Yeah, man.
What if he was the key link?
Do you think your life would be better or worse if Adam Sandler didn't exist?
Worse.
Oh yeah, worse, because he did make some good stuff.
Yeah, I grew up loving a bunch of his movies.
Been a long time since he made a good movie.
It doesn't kind of necessarily discount the stuff that he made that was good.
Sure. Okay. Sure. That's true. That's a good point. What movie are you picking, John?
I kind of want to keep Pixels around for the kitsch factor.
God
so I guess probably Emoji Movie.
There you go.
I sacrificed myself for nothing.
Hey, I'm with you on Pixels.
Okay. Fair enough.
Hebrew Lantern writes, in light of some of the negative views of certain games coming out, what games or other media have you been excited for despite what
could that be referring to?
What could that be referring to?
Yeah.
Oh,
have you guys
can we talk about this? What's going on? What's going on with Pokemon? I don't actually understand what people are mad about. They lied or something?
Just want to shit on something, and Pokemon just happens to be the thing.
But why are people saying Game Freak lied? What happened?
They're trying to find like every little thing to scrutinize and jump on it in major ways. And it's getting like crazy. Like the subreddits are weird. People are weird, man. People are going insane over a Pokemon game.
Oh. Okay.
It's really stupid. The whole thing is stupid.
Yep.
Okay. Fair enough.
But okay, what games or other media have you been excited for despite what others have said? Well, I'm going to say Pokemon Sword.
Sure.
And Shield.
Uh-huh.
I think all this shitting on the game has got me more interested in the game just to see what in the world has got them all riled up. Because honestly, I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to play this. But now I'm like, Jesus, if they think this is bad, it's probably going to be interesting to play.
Keep in mind, they're going at it from a we haven't even played the game standpoint yet.
Oh, trust me, I'm well aware of that.
So I'm sure it's just going to be another Pokemon game. They're all pretty similar.
What games or other media have been excited for despite what others have said? So the thing is I try to actually keep away. Like, I don't watch trailers generally for stuff. I try to keep out of public opinion until I see something for myself. So I don't know what's like viewed as bad. Like this Pokemon thing, finally it snuck into Discord, and it's just like, I don't understand what you people are talking about at all. Like, I didn't know that there was a backlash even, besides the like national Dex thing, obviously.
I'm gonna say just mobile games in general. I feel like most people discount them pretty significantly. You know, I follow a lot of like game sites and game critics, and like no one pays any attention to mobile stuff. But I get pretty excited each week when I get like 5 new games on Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I think mobile games in general are is a good answer for sure. Yeah. Okay. Kevin asks, what are some of the best fan games?
I don't know any.
Yeah, I don't think I know any either. Well, necessarily. Shoot. The Angry Video Game Nerd game was good.
It's not really a fan game, though. That's like literally like a commercial
like an
product.
actual
That's
game.
The problem. I'm trying to draw that line on, like, where do you draw this here?
That's true.
Because I was thinking like Merry Gear Solid's pretty cool for if you like Metal Gear Solid.
Okay.
What about Duty Calls? Is that what
yeah, Duty Calls. Yeah, that was also a promo game for another game.
Another Metroid 2 remake was very good.
Yeah, I believe that was for Bulletstorm.
Did you guys play Project M at all?
A little bit.
Was that the Smash Bros. One?
Yeah.
I've watched people play it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that Metroid 2 remake that happened that got canceled because of the Metroid 2 remake.
AM2R is very good.
That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, that was really good.
That's very good. I think some of the best fan things are randomizers and different like coding things, like mods and whatever. I think that's kind of taken over like fan games, as it were. And like some fan mods and stuff are dope. And yeah, AM2R is probably my answer though. His second question here, what are some of the best freeware games? Now, I don't remember all of them off by heart. There's a bunch of really good freeware stuff here. Take a look. Because I grew up playing freeware games.
What are we classifying as freeware games?
You know, you can just download them. They don't cost anything, and like they're not for sale normally. So free.
What about like a free to play game? Does that count?
Yeah.
So I could say Destiny 2.
Now I see why you're doing this. I guess technically, yeah.
What's the differentiator? Because I don't have a list of freeware games.
Freeware is just technically a game that you get that is doesn't have a price tag attached to it like normally.
Okay, but it's like the spirit of it. We're not talking about like free to play. Like there's no monetization involved in any way.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So like so games that you get for free, like having like an Epic account, don't really count or stuff like that.
Sure.
I don't actually have an answer to this, honestly.
What about?
I grew up getting a lot of those discs or whatever that just had a bunch of like when PC gaming wasn't as big as it is now. A bunch of people would like develop games and just kind of put them on these like giant compilations of like 25 games or whatever. Some of which were like, there was a freeware version of Duke Nukem 3D a long time ago. A more recent one, I really got into Dwarf Fortress for a bit. That game is fucking crazy.
Yeah, that's what
holy shit, that is a crazy thing. I just
what about that Undertale prequel thing? Does that count?
Deltarune?
Yeah.
Yeah, technically that would count. Although the rest of the game is going to be you have to pay for it. So,
if there even is a rest of the game,
I'm sure there will be. But he's been busy being popular with Nintendo apparently.
Right.
Doki Doki Literature Club is a great one.
Oh yeah, there you go. Another good one.
There's one I've played, so yeah, that's probably my answer. Sneak King? I think you had to pay for those.
You had to pay for Sneak King.
Like $3. Though it is probably one of the best fast food related video games.
Oh, if you're like, this isn't me because I can't wrap my head around it. If you are into rhythm games, Osu is apparently one of the best. Oh, how did I forget this? Trackmania is one of my favorites.
Oh my god, yeah, there you go. And Beatmania, if you're into DDR and stuff
and
like that.
Stepmania.
Like all those other things.
Yep, those are all freeware.
Yeah, sorry, Stepmania, rather.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right, Alien Swarm, if you like top-down shooters. That's on Steam that you can get that one.
There's a lot of good stuff out there, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Next one comes from Paul. I'm assuming not you.
Not me.
I recently started following John on Twitter, and I'm confused, but why there are so many images of John as busty girls? What's up with that?
It's a good question.
Of course, I got the question too. It's a good question.
That just worked out nicely.
Yeah. I got nice tits. I opened my mouth.
The mic out.
Yeah, there you go. Bam, done. I opened my mouth during a stream, and it stuck. That's the TLDR of it. Longer version is we last year when they introduced that Super Crown, someone drew a girl, me wearing it, and
Mario one, right?
Gotcha.
The Mario one. So
like a Johnette sort of idea or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was basically what came around for like October, and then so that made that created like an alternate girl version of me, which was called Pon Pon, which is a succubus version of me, because the artist who did it, Arizona, she drew that for a month, and then revealed at the end like, no, this wasn't John the whole time; it was just an alt John. So that character existed, and then that just kept going on as like a stream joke for a bit, and then in February of this year, I was practicing for a Smash Brothers event, and I started getting really salty. So the same artist drew a picture of Rosalina for me because they knew I liked Rosalina as a character. And another artist in the community drew a picture of me as Rosalina and Reese as Mario, and just kind of as a joke.
I see.
And there was like just like little bumps there for like the breasts, and as a joke on stream, I said, "Nah, man, if I was a girl, I'd be bustier than that."
Why?
And
Wait, they took girl versions of you.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
I thought it was all just the same girl.
There's like 20.
Okay.
So yeah, so that basically turned into that person took it as a dare and kept upping the bust size of the character, and it just became its own character, and then everyone else in the community just started making other alt versions of me. So basically, that's just it. Like, it's just like a running gag / just people making character versions of me from streams. So that's pretty much what that is.
Okay.
It's gotten to a point where some of the people in the community actually are making a dating sim. They're making a dating sim where you play as
your answer to best freeware games.
Exactly. Now you've caught on.
And fan games.
I'm sorry. Did you write in as Paul? Was this to plug your new dating sim game?
You caught me.
So yeah, you're gonna play as my wife. You're gonna play as Reese, and then you get to pick which version of me you date. There's 3 girl me's and 3 guy me's, and I don't think normal me is any of the options. So.
That's great.
Damn, that's a mad burn right there.
No, that's great. It would have been fucking weird if there was like real John. I love that there's like male fake Johns.
Is there a title for this game?
They had one, and I'm trying to remember what the heck it was. It was like Adopt a John or something like that. Is what they were doing the running title for.
Okay.
That's
Are you gonna play it on stream?
Oh yeah, likely with Reese.
Sure.
Sure.
David writes in, do any of you have any recommendations for third-party Switch Pro controllers?
Nah, I don't like third-party controllers normally.
That's what I was going to say is like, I typically stay away from third-party controllers ever since like the N64. I got a bad one and I was like, this is the worst.
Yep. Get a dongle. Use whatever controller you have with it. That's wireless.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good one. If you have any other Bluetooth ones, get like the 8-bit dongle.
Yeah,
because that's like $25.
Yeah,
American. That's probably a cheap one if you have access to other Bluetooth controllers.
Yeah,
like an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 controller.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I always go first party. Just safer.
Yep.
I hear actually now that we're talking about 8-bit, I hear those controllers people do like though.
8-bit is nice, but like, I had 2 friends that had it for the Switch, and it had weird syncing issues and kept messing up other controllers connected to the system.
Like a specific model or just random?
Yeah, a specific model, the Super Nintendo Pro 30 or something like that, I think is what it was.
Oh, see, I've been hearing people liking that one because I remember when everyone was like,
the controller itself seems really nice, but it kept having weird issues with 2 separate switches.
Okay.
Yeah, the SN30 Plus or whatever, the only people I've heard talk about it are people that have tried it with Mario Maker, and they say that their rubbers broke in them because they're very hard on controllers. So it sounds like it's a good controller if you're not doing Kaizo-esque gameplay. Otherwise, they break down quick, apparently. Just as a heads up. Lucas writes in and says, if you're going to a specific game studio to pitch an idea on a new game for an existing IP, what studio/IP would it be, and what would the idea be? The idea should be a different or expanded take on the IP. For example, going to Konami and pitching a Castlevania fighting game. Other ideas could be pitching a Maker game, a la Mario Maker, to Legend of Zelda, Metroid, Castlevania, or even Mortal Kombat as a turn-based RPG.
So we're taking a spin on an existing IP.
Mortal Kombat as a turn-based RPG is fucking awesome sounding. I would be so into that idea.
I came up with the idea when they mentioned the Maker one. What if it was like a fighting game Maker? So let's just do Mortal Kombat Maker, for example, and you could make it from anywhere from like you could make Mortal
that kind
Kombat,
of exists,
or you could make Dive Kick.
Oh, I see.
Like you would set the rules and everything.
I mean, yeah, because like Fighter Maker exists as a series, but they're all for like 3D fighters, like Virtua Fighter style games.
That's true.
Okay, I didn't know that was even a thing, but that's the one I came up with.
Yeah. So Maker games are hard because I don't know if y'all have played Mario Maker. People don't know how to make for shit for basic platforming. I couldn't imagine a fucking Zelda dungeon in like a Zelda Maker. That would be fucking garbage.
But a Zelda Maker, there was like a fan game Zelda Maker someone was working on. It might still be in development. I don't think it got C&D'd yet.
Interesting.
Right, and I mean there are still good Mario stages from Mario Maker. Like the good ones will surface to the top when you go to the subreddit.
Yeah, okay. When you like search them out, they'll be there. Yeah, for sure. Man, I can't get my head around Mortal Kombat turn-based RPG. You blew my mind of what I want.
See, like that just sounds like the next evolution of like Shaolin monks. So
right, yeah, totally.
What about like I'm thinking like an Overwatch tactics fighter with all their special abilities and stuff.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I think that'd be cool because some characters would like teleport, Tracer could like go back in time.
Or just gets like more action points to move around
more.
Wall
that would be specific squares. I think that'd be really cool.
That would be so cool. That's a great idea too. Damn. Jesus. Too many good ideas.
All right, that's it. John, do you want to read this last one?
Oh, sorry. I thought for some reason didn't think it was mine. Hayes writes in and says, wanted to ask if I could get a shout out since I'm getting married this weekend and probably I'll be listening to you guys during my honeymoon flight. Oh, right. I didn't realize that was so soon, Hayes. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, dude.
Yeah, way to go, dude. Happy wedding.
And now a question on top of that. Do you have any remarkable advice from you guys that seem to have pretty solid relationships?
I feel like he should give advice. John excluded, he's married.
I was gonna say, I think I'm the only one really here that is past him in relationship status. And even then, like he's clearly catching up very soon. Work out your arguments. That's the best thing to do. It
communication is literally the only thing. Talk about like everything. Yeah.
Find someone that does everything you ask and never argues with you.
That's actually the good advice. Yep.
Yeah, communication. I'm trying to think like what works for me and my situation. I think a lot of the scenarios I'm coming up with is it's more just like I'm with someone who's like reasonable all the time. So it just makes a lot of like possible arguments easy to deal with because we can kind of like talk it out and be like, all right, what's the actual thing that we need to get going on with here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So I guess just have like a great significant other. that makes it real easy.
Yeah, honestly, Hayes, I think I met you, was it not this year, but last year at MomoCon. And you two seemed like you'd already been together for a while before that. So I think you're at a point where you're getting married. I think you've already kind of got shit figured out. I don't think you really need the advice, to be honest.
Once again, congrats.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Paul, did you want to do episode names?
Yes, I have them ready to go here.
All right, extra long episode. Let's finish up.
Yeah,
with episode names.
Let's get it done. Episode names. Okay. Starting from September 12th. A little bit of a backlog here, but okay. Here, honey, I got you an oboe.
Nope, I have no idea what this is.
I'm guessing, what the fuck?
When was
I'm gonna assume John said this?
Yeah, me too. When
I
was
feel
your
like Sean
anniversary?
said this, but this was referring to something I said, probably about music.
Yeah, I could also see me saying it, but like about John. I don't know. The honey thing makes me think of John and Reese for whatever reason.
Okay.
Oh, was this referring to how my parents used to buy me an instrument every Christmas? Maybe, but what would have brought that up?
Is that true?
That is true. I used to ask for a different musical instrument every year for a couple years.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. When was your anniversary? Was it around then? September?
Our anniversary is 9/28. So September 28th.
So here, honey, I got you an oboe.
Wait, were we maybe
match up
talking
with
about
your
like what is
anniversary.
like was this your first anniversary or second anniversary?
First wedding anniversary, yeah.
Okay, maybe we were talking about like what are the themed anniversaries, and maybe there was we joked that there was an interest.
Oh, that's probably what it is. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Context is John's anniversary is coming up, and you got on the topic of traditional gifts. One of the lists you had musical instruments. Sean said magical instruments, and Sean said this to imitate what that would be like. Okay, I'm gonna chalk that up as.
I was right. I knew Sean said it.
But that's Paul's answer because he mentioned the anniversary thing. I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay. September 20th. I blinked and then video games got weird.
I said this.
Yeah.
I don't remember what, because games are weird every week.
Death Stranding? Did we get more info on Death Stranding?
What was the date? September-ish?
September 20th? Did we get like a new trailer or something back around then?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. Context. You were talking. Oh, yeah. Okay. You were talking about the Offspring concert in World of Tanks, and Sean said this in disbelief about what video games have become.
Right. Games get weirder every week. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah.
Something weird happens with video games every week.
Yeah. I know this next one, so I'll wait for you guys to see if you do. So the week after, the 26th, do you see his cock? I knew this instantly because
this
we never
has Death Stranding.
We never we never get this vulgar, so I knew exactly.
It has to be Death Stranding, where we talk about looking at Norma Reedus' crotch and then he punches you.
Oh, that seems like a good guess. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Sean asked Paul if Colonel Sanders gets naked for you in the KFC dating sim.
God damn it.
Yeah. Paul says this because he keeps a taxidermy chicken in his place. It's also true. Okay. October 3rd. The more adult version of PC building. I think I wasn't here for this one. Or maybe I was.
October 3rd?
Of PC building. Sean, when did you get your power supply? What would we have been talking about? That's the only thing that's been recent for PC building.
It would have been somewhere around there. Yeah, I don't know. All I can think of is like, were we talking about like cars? Or maybe John's deck? Like house repairs?
Maybe.
No, John fixed a dishwasher.
You're right. It's probably something with that. Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that.
What was the prompt again?
The more adult version of PC building.
Oh, yeah. It has to be the dishwasher.
Context. Also, this about working on cars during a discussion about building PCs.
Oh, never mind. Way off.
That, but okay.
So Sean actually was closer with originally. Weird. I don't remember that at all. October 10th. We're going to start a fire.
I have no idea.
No idea.
Me neither. Context is Sean was complaining about how PG&E was handling the power outages and wanted to do because they didn't trust themselves not to start a fire because they had set some previously. Yeah, shutting down the power because they were afraid that they were going to start a fire. So stupid. October 17th. There's boobs everywhere, but you can't control it.
Okay, that sounds like my Twitter feed.
It kind of does, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the context would be, though.
No, I don't know either.
I have no idea.
Context. Paul describing the lack of bust option in the character creation for Code Vein.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's a deep cut. Jesus. October 24th, Double died. This one I don't believe I was here. I was gone that week. Double died.
October 24th.
Did one of you die
No,
in something?
that's before Luigi's Mansion. I don't know.
It would have been Halloween-ish. Was there death going on? Video game
Maybe we were
death?
talking about like skeletons. Something about
Okay.
killing, like fighting or killing a skeleton.
Okay.
That sounds kind of familiar to me.
So I'm trying to remember what the hell this was about. Because it was before the murder mystery, unless we were talking about the murder mystery.
Maybe it was that. And I want to say one of the characters was like already like an undead thing.
Yeah, no, because it was about the murder mystery was about like at Dracula's castle, and like, was there a zombie? Like, can the zombie be killed? Will they be double dead?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Maybe that's it.
I think that's what it was.
Okay. Context is John was talking about his Halloween plan of doing a stream with some people role-playing a murder mystery. John brought up one of them is going to be a skeleton, and Sean said that there was going to be one dead guy there. John said this in case he ended up dying.
Okay.
And I did.
Oh no.
I was the murdered.
Well,
damn.
Well. And
I was the one who put on all like the prosthetics and shit for it too. So it was just like, oh god damn it.
Oh, that sucks. And then the last one, October 30th, day before Halloween. You don't even know how scared you should be. I think this is a Sean thing.
Yeah.
Why did you say it though?
We were doing a Halloween spooky episode, and then we were joking about how
we were gonna hide a scare in there, and they wouldn't even know how scared they should be.
Yeah, there's gonna be spooks throughout the whole episode.
Yep.
You're not even gonna know when you got scared.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Context: Sean and Paul were hyping up the Halloween adjacent episode by promising something scary. If you didn't feel scared, you needed to listen again because you should be scared. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Thank you again, VGC Kenny. Always a pleasure.
Thanks to everyone who wrote in questions. If you want to send in questions, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week? I'm giving it to Return of the Oberdin.
Killer Queen.
Holy shit, these are all bangers. I've given it to Outer Worlds before. Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair probably has to take it. Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll see you. Oh, so John, will you be here next week?
Yes.
All right, then we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.